This is Oklahoma's own News on 6 in high definition.
Oklahoma schools are the ones getting a grade, but can you as a parent put any faith in how those grades are figured?
A man finds a would-be burglar breaking into his SUV and sends him to the hospital.
And why are inmates allowed to Skype from the Tulsa County Jail? Good to have you here at 6 o'clock. I'm Scott Thompson.
And I'm Terry Hood. First at 6 tonight, an update to breaking news. We told you at 5 o'clock about a burglary suspect who surrendered after sparking a nearly 3-hour standoff in Cleveland.
Several homes near that standoff scene were evacuated. News on 6 reporter Tess Maune's live up there with the latest for us here at 6. Tess.
Scott and Terry, the streets of Cleveland are quiet once again, but that was certainly not the case earlier when police say that a man with a high-powered rifle was holed up in this house that you see right here for about 3 hours. Let's take a look at some of the video we shot a little bit earlier today. About a half dozen law enforcement agencies were on the scene, including an OHP tactical team that was here to help negotiate with that suspect. Here's what we know happened. Police say Craig Clark burglarized a home out west of town around 10 o'clock this morning and stole a gun and some ammo. Then he ended up at this home on Dunlap. Police say he knew the woman who lived here and said that she called police when she left for work around 2 o'clock to report the burglary and tell officers Clark was inside with an AR-15 rifle and 300 rounds of stolen ammunition, spurring police to shut down 6 blocks here in Cleveland and evacuate homes in the neighborhood.
Because of the rifle, it's a long range capable. It could go through a couple houses, and with as many rounds as we knew he possibly had on him, it could have put a lot of people in this side of town in danger.
Craig Clark was arrested without incident. They found that gun inside of this home, and there was a library and a community center. It's just to my right here, a couple yards away, and those 2 buildings were also evacuated. Coming up tonight at 9 and 10, we'll hear from one of those people who was asked to leave and what it was like for her in this town of Cleveland that doesn't see action like this very often. Reporting live in Cleveland, Tess Maune, News on 6 tonight.
Oklahoma's public schools will get new grade cards next week, the second year for the A through F grading system that remains very controversial.
News on 6 reporter Emory Bryan is live with the story. Emory?
Well, school administrators remain critical of the A through F system in general, but right now they've got some specific concerns because the state keeps tweaking the calculations, and that means the grades are changing slightly. Out in Sand Springs, the grades from the state changed 5 times on the first day of a review period, and other districts report similar problems. Now, the state is giving districts until next Monday to double check the numbers, then plans to release them to the public next Tuesday.
I think it's a small reflection of overall school performance and what we actually do. I have to say that right up front, but for the most part, that grade is what the public perceives as good or bad, and so our district did okay.
Scores are checking out to be accurate. We apologize for the little glitch that was in the beginning, but we're ready to move forward with the state board to present that to them.
Now, after sharp criticism last year, the legislature changed the formula, and that changed quite a bit of the grades for school districts. Now, tonight at 10, we'll have a story from Union and Sand Springs about how this changing formula has changed the grades that they're expecting to see next week. Emory, Bryan, News on 6.
When we aired a video phone call from inside Tulsa County's jail yesterday showing a teenage murder suspect, many of you asked why inmates are allowed to video chat with their family and friends.
News on 6 crime reporter Lori Fullbright went back to the jail today to find out. Her story is new this evening.
The phone video system has been available in Tulsa County's jail for about the past 6 months. It does not cost taxpayers a penny. In fact, it's making them some money.
This video of teenage murder suspect Josh Maune in the background of another inmate's video phone call outraged many people on 2 levels. First, that a teenager accused of shooting a woman in the head would be laughing while holding his fingers to his head like a gun and saying headshot. But second, that people in jail are allowed to make these types of calls at all.
Somebody misbehaves, I block their family and I block them, and they can no longer use the system.
Sergeant Daubry says the law does allow certain privileges in jail, and phone calls are one of them. He says the video phone calls are paid for by the inmate's family, and they're cheaper at 50 cents a minute than a regular phone call at $2 a minute. And right now, the jail is making about $2,000 a month from them. He says it also cuts down on visitation. Right now, 7,000 people a month come to visit inmates, and that takes a lot of staff and time. Other jails say video calls freed up their staff to do other things.
They saw their inmate visitation drop down by 80 to 90%.
This man's family lives in western Oklahoma, so it's cheaper and easier for them to pay for video calls. And he can see all of his family, even the kids who aren't allowed to visit him in jail.
In a way it's good, in a way it's kind of sad too, because I see everything that's going on in my house, and naturally I'm not there.
Most people in a county jail have not been convicted of a crime. Jail managers say you take away access to their family, which is their main support system, then their main support system becomes other inmates. All these calls are recorded and many are monitored. And after Sheriff Stanley Glanz saw this call and how many people were involved in their behavior, he asked his staff to tighten up their policies and procedures for future video phone usage.
You may think inmates in jail don't deserve any privileges, but jail managers will tell you this is a very effective way to manage the inmates, because as soon as they misbehave, they get a privilege taken away, and they don't want that, so they're more likely to behave. Lori Fullbright, News on 6.
A Tulsa man shoots a burglar he catches breaking into his SUV. John Becker says he woke up early this morning when he heard something going on in his driveway over in East Tulsa. When he saw the dome light in his SUV was on, he grabbed a shotgun and went outside. He caught the burglar, and the pair got into a fight. When the burglar reached for something in his pocket, Becker shot him.
For some reason, I lowered my gun and shot him in the leg because I didn't want to kill the guy or anything, but I want to protect myself, and I don't know what he's going for.
Police say the suspect had a knife in that pocket. Now the suspect's name hasn't been released because he hasn't been charged. He's still in the hospital tonight. A KFC worker, Kentucky Fried Chicken, is shot in an armed robbery. Tulsa police say when an employee went to take out the trash after closing last night, he was confronted by two men, one with a gun, the other with a knife. The masked man then backed the employee back inside the restaurant, forced the manager to open the safe. The robbers got away with a third man driving a blue Chevrolet pickup, but not before shooting an employee there at the chicken restaurant in the stomach. That employee is in the hospital tonight. If you know anything about the robbery, you can always call Crime Stoppers.
A person is stabbed when a fight breaks out at a Tulsa bar. Tulsa police say Alicia Duke stabbed someone in the side during a fight at Utopia Bar. Witnesses say Duke sped away from 35th and Sheridan but was caught when her car broke down. The victim was hospitalized but is expected to recover. The 19-year-old Duke is under arrest for assault with a deadly weapon.
A Tulsa high school is taking a big step that could lead them to the forefront of higher education.
Tulsa Memorial today celebrated joining the comprehensive advanced placement program of the National Math and Science Initiative. This program tries to increase student participation and performance in math, science, and English courses.
These students will have an opportunity to take several AP Math, Science, and English courses. They'll be provided with the materials and resources that would be necessary for them to be successful. They will have access to the best teachers from around the country.
Memorial and two other Oklahoma schools receiving this grant are expected to increase passing scores in advanced placement math, science, and English by 253% over the next 3 years.
Well, a breakthrough by OU researchers could save countless lives. Read of their findings in the fight against cancer at newson6.com.
A former Oklahoma governor testifies in the bribery scandal of a former state legislator later.
Plus, learn how a dryer full of clothes ended up in the middle of a Tulsa intersection. It's online at newson6.com.
But up next, Rick Wells shows us some of the most talented students in Green Country leaving it all on the football field, but they aren't in shoulder pads. If you enjoy marching bands and halftime shows, and who doesn't, Broken Arrow High School's Tiger Stadium was the place to be today.
Eastern Oklahoma's 5 and 6A high school bands put it all on the line.
As Rick Wells shows us, it's a chance for Oklahoma's own to strut their stuff.
We're watching the Muskogee High School Band, one of 21 marching bands competing.
These bands have been working on their shows for months.
Mike Plunkett is with the OSSAA. He said non-athletes have competitions too.
Those drama kids, to those speech kids, to those music kids, going to contests is very important to them.
To them and their parents.
I absolutely love it. I had no idea that I would like band this much.
Her son is in the Bixby Band, not scheduled to perform till mid-afternoon, but she's been here since early morning because she knows what it takes to get here.
A lot of early mornings and then a lot of afternoons and into the evening practices. They practice so much.
Here's how this thing works. There are 3 judges, 2 from out of state, 1 from Oklahoma.
From spacing and just keeping on hitting on that and build the excellence of your show.
Each records a running critique during the show, and the directors get those comments as part of the evaluation, along with an overall score. There's no winner. Each band is evaluated individually, but it's a contest like any other.
And I think it helps build character and teamwork and those kinds of things, just like the athletic events do.
And that's important for the kids and their parents.
It's awesome to be part of this.
Rick Wells, News on 6.
They practice so hard, those kids, all summer long out there in the heat in the morning. And
exactly.
Great job.
Good to see them. Well, there's something new sure to catch your eye in Tulsa's Pearl District.
And the chilly weather continues on the Osage Casino Skycam network, and it looks to be getting even colder before our next warm-up. Travis has the forecast coming up. There's a lovely new work of art over in Tulsa's Pearl District this evening.
Josh Butts unveiled his mural today on the side of the Tulsa Beef Building near 6th and Trenton. It has scenes from the district's past, present, and visions for its future. He says the mural shows what the Pearl District is about, taking what he calls a checkered past and turning it into something everyone can be proud of. He started the mural late last month.
Travis Meyer has the American Meteorological Society seal of approval.
And it was a good day to be out showing off some art that was outside, or just to be out for a walk, or just do almost anything that was outside. Gorgeous weather. Winds weren't blowing that strong. It was just temperatures in the 60s, and this is good fall. Now, there is another cold front coming through. We have a warm front, if you want to call it a warm front, but there is a difference in temperatures. Look at this. It's been hanging in the 40s in Kansas City. Well, we've been in the 60s, 70s in Oklahoma City, and you get down southwest Oklahoma, we've been in the 80s. Now, there is a frost advisory for tomorrow night, because this cold air coming in is going to make it pretty cold, especially for tomorrow. We'll be only in the 50s, and then tomorrow night dropping down in the 30s. Now, there's a whole lot going on. There are a few showers, as we were showing you with Viper just a second ago, but these showers are moving to the east-southeast and staying away from our area, so all the cold air pretty much up in the portions just to our north, but that's going to kind of sink south because the jet stream's kind of helping create a little bit of a loop that'll bring down some of this colder air. And you can tell there isn't anything coming out of the south moving north, and this time of year a lot more often you'll have stuff coming from the north moving south, and that means the colder air. And it's pretty obvious where we're sitting on this cold air. We're right on the borderline between some really chilly air. I mean, these were afternoon highs in the 40s. They're actual temperatures now, but I mean, that's pretty much it for high. Minneapolis, 34 for a high. Not quite ready for that. Want to enjoy some more great fall weather, and we do have some good fall weather to show you. And we're talking as well with the jet stream, kind of giving us a picture of things to come, that most of our weather is going to be okay. It's going to be a little chilly tomorrow. There is a chance of showers on Saturdays. We have a weak system coming across Oklahoma and into North Texas. That should be enough to scatter some showers and some thunderstorms across Texas. And then, as we go into next week, Halloween, it's supposed to be a kind of a fun time for kids trick-or-treating, but this is called a major system. That's not what you really want to have happen right as the day before Halloween, but we do have a chance of rain and thunderstorms starting to really congregate across Oklahoma and into Texas as we get on into next week. So that could be kind of a mess. Also of note is the fact during the Halloween time period and on into the first week in November, we're looking for a lot colder than normal temperatures, or below normal temperatures. We'll put it that way, not a lot, but it will be below normal the way things are shaping up. All right, here's a look as we look out to the west from downtown. This is the Arkansas River kind of winding its way to back to the east and then to the southeast. We're talking about tonight being mostly clear. Very chilly weather expected with the setting of the sun and that cooler air getting reinforced tonight. 66 degrees right now, dew point at 41, south wind at this hour at 7 miles per hour. Wanted to jump ahead though to Saturday. We have the Tulsa Run coming up, and as I said, that storm system that's coming in, there is going to be a chance of a few sprinkles and showers. Temperatures are going to be in the 40s, which for runners, it's awesome. So you're going to like that. Winds are not a major player, so that'll help out. Any wind over 10 miles per hour, most runners don't care for, but we'll be 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then temperatures will start to warm up as we get to noon, but also as we get to noon, we have a little bit better chance of rain and a few showers. Right now, we're looking at temperatures in the 60s with 75 still in Oklahoma City, 71 in McAllister, and tonight through the morning, here comes that cool front. Not a big deal, but it will be cooler again, upper 30s to low 40s in the area with winds a little bit stronger out of the north, northeast during the day tomorrow, and then we'll look for temperatures that'll be in the 50s for highs tomorrow to near 60 degrees. So it will start to get a little bit more on the chilly side, or at least it'll feel that way for tomorrow compared to today. But beautiful fall weather. All right, 59, fair skies, sunset here coming up just a little bit. So weird to think those days are getting so short. Chilly breeze in the morning and 43. Sunrise giving us 7:39, and then 58 tomorrow afternoon. Again, 58 when it's sunny, looks great, and then you step outside and go, man, that's kind of chilly. But it should be some good-looking fall weather. And then there is a frost or freeze around northeast Oklahoma for early Friday morning, so be aware of that. If you still have some tomatoes, they're hanging in there. And then look for that slight chance of showers on Saturday, and then a better chance of stormy weather next week.
Make some green tomatoes.
Yes.
Fry 'em,
Ooh,
right?
that sounds pretty good.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Travis.
Well, the Cardinals will have one of their big sluggers back for Game 1 of the World Series.
And the Golden Hurricane hopes another year of experience leads to more smiles on the court.
Driven by your Oklahoma Ford dealers, this is News on 6 Sports with Charlie Hannema.
Jumping right back in, that tops the Napa Sports Desk tonight. Cardinal slugger Ellen Craig is back in the lineup tonight for Game 1 of the World Series. He's been out since September 4th with a foot sprain, but will bat cleanup and DH tonight. Craig hit .315 during the regular season with 13 homers and 97 runs batted in. He hasn't been cleared to play the field yet, but with the first 2 games in Boston, the Cardinals caught a bit of a break. Craig says he's ready to go despite being out so long.
I have to be confident. I'm going to go out there and play my game, and not trying to think about too much. Just see ball, hit ball, and compete, and that's what I'm going to focus on. Make adjustments as I go and just play the game.
Brandon Whedon is back on the bench for the Cleveland Browns. The Browns decided to start Jason Campbell at quarterback this week after Whedon struggled the last 2 games. The former Cowboy is 32nd in the league in completion percentage, 31st in yards per attempt, and 30th in passer rating. Danny Manning will lead the Golden Hurricane back on the floor a week from tomorrow for TU's lone exhibition game. TU held its preseason media day today, and Manning hopes his second season as head coach will bring a more up-tempo offense with plenty of talent seeing the floor.
We didn't play as fast as we would like just because of we didn't have the bodies that we wanted or needed to do that. This year, in a perfect world, we can be anywhere from 8 to 11 men deep.
Even if one player has an off game, another player can go off, and we have a lot of good players that can just get a job done.
Playing at a high tempo, that's our game, and we have the ability and the versatility to play at that tempo because of all the weapons that we have.
The NBA Finals will have a different format starting this season. The Finals will now be on a 2-2-1-1-1 home court schedule like all the other playoff rounds. That's a change from the 2-3-2 format. The Thunder wraps up its preseason schedule tonight against the Bulls. It's a Thunder home game that's being played in Wichita. Tip-off is at 8:30. The Oilers will play their home opener Saturday night at the BOK Center. Tulsa had the worst record in the CHL last year, but made big changes in the offseason. The Oilers made an ownership change and completely revamped the roster. It hasn't led to wins in either of Tulsa's first 2 games to start the season, but the Oilers think they have the players to improve this year.
It wasn't really comparable to what other teams were putting on the ice, so it was obviously a little scary sometimes. But this year we have a different attitude. We know we have the talent that's definitely comparable to everybody else, so we're really excited.
On paper, we look a lot better, but on paper doesn't always do it. You need to, you need to put the product out on there on the ice and do the things that you were brought here to do. And I think our team's going to do that.
Fall's definitely here. We're talking hockey, basketball, and of course the World Series.
There it is. He said a year ago, go ahead and print up the tickets.
Right,
and
I said every year. I was right this year.
It worked out for you.
It did.
Well, could you help me with the forecast by chance? While
It's going to be cold.
While you're on a streak?
Chilly.
Eventually.
Yeah. If you missed the forecast, we do have some really nice weather, but a little chilly for tomorrow compared to today. We ended up with a gorgeous day today, and tonight we'll be down in the low 40s. 50s tomorrow, so it'll be a chilly day. Tomorrow night, cold. We'll be down near freezing. There's a frost or freeze quite possible from Tulsa to the north and east tomorrow night. Then a pretty nice Friday shaping up. Good weather for Friday night football. Just on the cool side. Chance of showers on the Tulsa run for Saturday in the morning. Slight chance. And then look for temperatures that'll be, again, a little warmer as we head on into next week. But stormy next week. Good chance of rain showers and storms right up through Halloween, the way things are shaping up. But the colors, they're looking pretty good out there. If you notice, those trees are starting to look really
hickory
bright
trees
and
are lovely red.
Yep.
Gonna have to go as a trash bag for Halloween with the
yeah,
rain?
most likely.
Again this year.
Again.
Good to have you here at 6.
Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Isn't that pretty? Sunset over the Arkansas.